Sakurahos, what's up? We are now filming on an iPhone 14 Ho. I got a story time for you about this phone and switching from a Google to an iPhone. But today we are here to talk about Avatar, The Water People. And, I will say that the movie was visually pleasing. But we are here for some news and some movie reviews. It's been a while. I think that the last movie I reviewed on YALLTube was The Circle, and I don't even remember that. But this movie, this film, first of all, I don't watch films because I like to get up and walk around, eat potato chips, and stretch my legs, and, I don't like to sit in a theater. I don't like to do that. But, let me tell you, damn, I look good on this camera. Anyways, y'all, this film ripped off everybody, including Abby Lee Miller. So you better stay to the end to get to the part where Abby Lee Miller is involved. So let's just talk about bad acting. So in theater, you do things big and dramatic, and it's just over the top. I mean, even your makeup is screwed up. And in film, you do these little subtle things, and, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I want an Emmy for all my acting gigs. But, I think that at the beginning of the movie, it was just very unsettling whenever the Earth Child talks about his father. He, jumps up, turns away, looks away. It's just so dramatic and forced, and I just didn't like that. It set a bad tone for me throughout the rest of the film. Also, 3D-wise, at the beginning of the movie, there's all sorts of 3D effects. And you're like, oh, I'm in the forest with these people. And all of a sudden, you forget that you're even wearing 3D glasses, goggles, whatever the heck, or scuba diving, who cares? Because it ain't nothing afterward. Additionally, I was talking to my friend, and she made a good point that, the family is super stereotypical. You have your Meg, who was literally a girl, middle child. You have another middle child, and he is your rebel child. And then you have the oldest son, who's just so perfect, and he's just perfect. And it's just like, oh, what? Is the rest of this movie predictable? It was too dang predictable. I cannot even start with you. Good thing this iPhone is blurring out my expression lines here because I'm about to be frowning. All sorts of stuff about this movie. So let's get to the nitty-gritty about where people are ripped off. First of all, it's called Avatar: The Water People. If you look at Avatar: The Last Airbender, what he does is he's an airbender, then he's a waterbender, then he's an earthbender, and then he's a firebender, okay? That's how it works. So what happened? These people were air, and now they moved on to water. Yeah, they moved on to water. How original. And during the water of Avatar: The Last Airbender, Aang does this tsunami hurricane stuff, and he gets all big and whatnot, and guess what? They do it in Avatar: The Water People. Not necessarily, but this is where Abby Lee Miller gets involved. We'll tell you about her later. But she jumps in the bottom of the ocean, starts spiraling around, and gets all sorts of energy, and she flips and capsizes a boat. So, I'm going to just say that's a little bit too similar for me. It's a little bit congruent, if you know what I mean. Abby Lee Miller gets involved. Who are they not ripping off? There's a movie quote somewhere in this film where they, quote another film and, okay, it's called an illusion. And it's no, they're ripping everybody off. So the rebel child is the outcast, and he's so outcast, and just happens that he finds a whale who's also an outcast, because everything is just so conveniently plotted in this film that it's not predictable at all. And so Abby Lee Miller was on Dance Moms, and everyone says she ain't too bad of a person. She just let the cameras and the producers get to her head. And you know what, Abby, I agree with you. The producers, they're horrible. And they're like, oh, she's this person. And so they're like, oh, this whale. I don't care that he just done killed somebody a couple years ago. He ain't the same whale. The producers made him do it. Y'all understand we're filming now. He's not going to do it again. He already got sued and sent to prison and got cancer and shit. And so nobody believes him. And then the Abby Lee Miller ends up saving the day. Or does she not? I don't know how much of this movie I'm spoiling. But, I don't like that. then Steve Irwin. They're making fun of Steve Irwin this whole film at the end, and it just pisses me off. I'm like, can't we just let him, Bindi the Jungle Girl, can he come for this film? Like, can we let him rest in some damn peace? Because why did the marine, I don't know if the marine biologist in the first movie, I doubt it, because there wasn't no water people, but why is he Australian? And everybody looking at me like I'm crazy, be like, oh, Steve Irwin's in this movie. No, he is in this movie, and let me tell you why. Because... So, Steve Irwin died because a stingray went like hook into little horny things. And what this marine biologist is doing is he's hooking all these whale-like creatures. So, he's Australian and he's saying stuff. He doesn't go, crikey! But he said a bunch of Australian things. I don't know why you gotta be Australian. I'm like, they are making fun of Steve Irwin, and I don't like that. So... the rest of it, it was alright. Okay, I'm just gonna go with that. It was alright. It was visually and aesthetically pleasing, and, you know, I guess that's why I got the iPhone, even though I don't like its software per se. I don't like the rules in this algorithm, but we'll make another tea time story about that, because it took me like 4 days to get my iPhone to work and all my accessories. But I hope I didn't spoil the movie too much for you, but I just had to let y'all know what was up. You know, on this channel we do some movie reviews. Maybe I'll do some makeup again. I do have some clogging videos to post. Holly Jolly Johnny days, we didn't do that. We were postponed due to COVID. Never did my hippopotamus video. We're going to have to do a lot of things. We're coming back at you with some stuff here in the Janation. So, Sakura hoes, it was good to chat. Comment below. Let me know what you think. Alright, what's going through your brains. I hope we're getting some. Anyways, we're just going to leave that as an ellipses with 4 dots, because we know there's more than one sentence about that.